All right, let's dive in today to something pretty interesting.
Definitely.
We're going to be looking at online exercise programs for older adults.
Specifically, those with type 2 diabetes.
Exactly.
It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah. We've got this study from 2023. It was published in the International Journal of Older People Nursing.
Oh, nice.
And it's by researcher Nurten Turkis
Okay.
and her colleagues. And they really dug deep into how these programs impact not just, the physical stuff.
Right.
But also mental well-being.
And quality of life.
Yeah. The whole picture.
It's really interesting how this research kind of connects to this huge increase in online healthcare we've been seeing.
Oh, for sure.
Especially since the pandemic, right?
Yeah, like COVID kind of forced everyone to figure out how to stay healthy from home.
Yeah.
And exercise was a big part of that for everyone, but especially older adults,
Definitely. And Turkis and her team, they point out how older adults were really impacted, because they often rely on those traditional gyms or fitness centers.
Right.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
This same group is rapidly embracing technology.
Really?
Yeah. The study actually mentions a report from 2022 that found that over 26% of people 65 to 74 were using smartphones.
That's a lot.
It is. That's a huge potential audience for these online health solutions.
That's amazing. So this study, they were focused specifically on online exercise programs for older adults with type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
But they made a key distinction between supervised and unsupervised programs.
Yes. So for anyone who might not be familiar with that, what's the difference?
Well, imagine having a virtual personal trainer right there with you.
Okay.
That's supervised.
Gotcha.
So in the study, it was a physiotherapist guiding those participants through video conferencing, giving feedback, in real time, making adjustments.
Yeah.
Making sure they're doing everything right.
Okay.
And then unsupervised is more like using a workout app, by yourself.
Gotcha. So you get the program, but you're kind of on your own.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So it's virtual trainer versus going it alone.
Right.
But did that actually make a difference in the results?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay. Tell me more.
Both groups, supervised and unsupervised.
Oh, okay.
They saw improvements in their fasting blood sugar levels.
Yeah.
So right away, we're seeing that online exercise can be a real win for managing diabetes.
That's great. So even if you're not super tech savvy or don't have tons of support, just getting moving online can have a positive impact.
For sure, but there's a little twist. The group that had the online supervision, they saw significantly bigger improvements.
Oh, really?
In those blood sugar levels.
Wow. So it seems like while doing something is definitely better than nothing, having that expert guidance, that really seems to amplify the benefits.
It does, and especially for something like blood sugar control.
Right. That's so important.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who's thinking about trying an online program,
that's a really crucial thing to keep in mind.
That structure and support.
Yes. They can make a huge difference.
I thought it was really cool that this study went beyond just the physical effects. They also looked at how these programs impacted things like, psychological resilience and quality of life.
Absolutely. And think of psychological resilience as that ability to kind of bounce back from tough situations,
Oh, okay.
It's that inner strength that helps you deal with stress and challenges. And the study found that both exercise groups actually saw increases in this resilience.
Interesting.
Yeah, and improvements in their overall quality of life.
So it's like exercise is having this ripple effect.
Yeah.
You get physically healthier and mentally stronger.
Yeah.
Which then improves your whole experience of life.
Absolutely. It really shows how our physical and mental well-being are connected.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here's where that supervision factor pops up again.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Ready for another surprise?
Always.
The supervised group.
Yeah. They once again showed significantly greater gains in both psychological resilience and quality of life compared to the unsupervised group.
So it's like that expert guidance is like this secret weapon.
It seems that way.
Boosting the results across the board, not just for physical stuff.
Exactly. And the researchers, they found a strong link between those two things,
The resilience and quality of life.
Yes. It suggests that when you feel mentally tougher, better able to handle challenges, you actually experience life more positively.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
It does, right. If you're not constantly feeling stressed or overwhelmed, you're probably more likely to do things you enjoy and just generally feel better.
Right.
It paints a pretty compelling picture, right?
Yeah, this is pretty mind-blowing.
I know.
But before we go any further, let's take a quick break.
Sounds good.
And when we come back, I want to explore what it actually looks like to be a part of one of these programs.
Okay.
Like, what are the nuts and bolts? What can someone expect?
Great question.
Stay tuned.
All right. Okay, so let's get practical.
Okay.
What does it actually look like to do one of these online supervised exercise programs?
Yeah, I'm picturing someone, in their living room, maybe a little unsure of how it all works.
Right. Well, it can vary a little depending on the program.
Okay.
But there are some common elements.
Okay.
Think of it like a blend of live video sessions.
Okay.
A personalized exercise plan just for you.
Okay.
And then like regular communication with a healthcare professional.
So you're not just kind of thrown in there.
No.
You've got that guiding hand throughout the process.
Exactly. Those live video sessions are really the heart of the program.
Okay.
It's your chance to connect face-to-face with a qualified exercise professional, usually via video conferencing.
So it's like having a personal trainer in your living room.
Exactly.
Without them judging your messy bookshelves.
Right, exactly. They'll guide you through the exercises, make sure your form is good, answer any questions you have, and can adjust things on the fly if needed.
Okay.
That's something you just don't get from a pre-recorded workout video.
Right. That makes sense. And I imagine that personalized attention is especially important for older adults.
Oh, absolutely.
Who might be new to exercise.
Right.
Or have concerns about getting injured.
It's all about creating a safe and supportive space for people to move their bodies and improve their health.
That's great.
And those personalized exercise plans, those are crucial too.
Yeah. How so?
Well, these aren't like generic cookie cutter routines. They're tailored to your fitness level.
Oh, okay.
Your goals and any limitations you might have.
So it's not one size fits all.
No.
Each person gets a program that's made for them.
Exactly. And then you've got that regular communication with your healthcare pro.
Okay.
So they're making sure things are safe, they're tracking your progress, and just offering that extra bit of motivation and support.
Oh, that's great. It sounds like a really well-rounded approach.
It is.
Combining technology and that personal touch.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
So you said those live video sessions are like the core of the program.
Yeah.
What does a typical session actually involve?
Okay, so picture this. You're logged into your video call, maybe having a cup of coffee or tea.
Okay.
And on the other end, you've got your exercise physiologist all smiles.
Okay.
Ready to get moving.
That sounds a lot more inviting than my usual gym experience.
I know, right?
Okay, so what happens next?
Well, they'll usually start by checking in on how you're feeling.
Okay.
Both physically and mentally.
I imagine that personal touch really helps to build that, rapport and trust.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just about barking orders. It's about creating a positive, encouraging environment.
Right.
Then they'll typically guide you through a warm-up.
Okay.
Gentle movements to get those muscles prepped and ready to work.
So no jumping jacks right away?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
It's all about easing into things safely and effectively.
Right.
And during the warm-up, they'll be watching your form.
Okay.
Offering tips, making sure you're moving correctly.
So they can actually see you and make corrections.
Yes, exactly. It's all about minimizing risk and maximizing those gains.
Gotcha.
Okay, now for the main event, the workout.
Okay, here we go.
So the physiologist will lead you through a series of exercises, demonstrating each one.
Okay.
Giving you step-by-step instructions.
So even if you're not super tech savvy,
right,
you can still follow along.
That's the goal. And they'll also offer modifications if something's too difficult or if you have limitations.
Okay.
It's about finding what works for you.
That's so important.
It is. Yeah. Recognizing that everyone's body is different.
Right. And moves in different ways.
Exactly. And throughout the workout, they'll be cheering you on.
Oh, nice.
Offering encouragement, reminding you about good form.
So it's like having a cheerleader in your living room.
Exactly. So much better than those workout videos where you're talking to yourself.
Right. Totally.
Okay. And after the workout comes the cool down.
Right.
Which is equally important.
Yeah, I imagine so.
They'll guide you through some gentle stretches to improve flexibility, help those muscles recover.
Like giving your body a chance to, relax and say good job.
Exactly. And it's also a chance for the physiologist to check in again, see how you're feeling, answer any final questions, and maybe even celebrate your wins for the day.
Oh, that's awesome. This whole session sounds incredibly interactive.
It is.
And supportive.
It really is.
I'm actually starting to get excited about exercise.
That's what we like to hear.
So how often do these live sessions happen?
Well, it can vary. Some programs might offer them daily, while others might be 2 or 3 times a week.
So there's flexibility to fit different schedules and preferences.
Absolutely. And then in addition to those live sessions, a lot of programs also have a library of pre-recorded workouts that you can access anytime.
So you get that live interaction and on-demand content.
Exactly. The best of both worlds.
And some programs even have those online forums or chat groups.
Yes.
Where participants can connect.
Yes.
Share tips, support each other.
It's like having a virtual community, which is super motivating.
Yeah. And helps people stay engaged.
It does. It's all about building that camaraderie.
Yeah.
Knowing you're not alone.
Okay. So let's talk tech.
Well,
what kind of gadgets and software do you need for all of this?
Well, the good news is it's usually pretty simple.
Okay.
Most programs just require a computer, a tablet, or even a smartphone with a decent internet connection.
So you don't need to, break the bank on fancy equipment?
No, not at all.
And the software is usually pretty user-friendly, right?
It is. Most of them use common video conferencing platforms like Zoom or Skype.
Oh, okay. Which a lot of people already use.
Exactly. So no steep learning curve, which is great.
Yeah, especially for, older adults who might be a little intimidated by technology.
Exactly. The focus should be on getting healthy.
Right.
Not on battling tech.
Exactly.
But speaking of tech, we should also talk about some potential downsides.
Oh, that's a good point. What are some of the challenges or limitations that people should be aware of?
Well, as much as we love technology, not everyone have access.
Right.
Reliable internet and devices can be a barrier.
Yeah, especially in certain areas.
Yeah, especially rural areas.
And for those with limited incomes.
Exactly. So it's important to recognize that these programs might not be accessible for everyone.
Right.
And even for those who do have access.
Yeah.
There can still be a learning curve.
Oh, right.
Some people might need a little extra support to get comfortable using the technology.
So it's important for these programs to be designed with accessibility in mind.
Yes.
And offer resources.
Absolutely.
To help people get over those hurdles.
Exactly. And then there's the social aspect.
Oh, right. Because it's online.
Yes, and while video conferencing allows for face-to-face interaction, it's not the same as being in a room with other people.
Yeah, some people really thrive on that, like group energy.
They do.
That you get from a class.
Absolutely.
It's hard to replicate that online.
It is. So it's important to recognize that these online programs might not be the best fit for everyone.
Right, especially those who really crave that in-person connection.
Exactly. And what about safety?
Oh, yeah, especially for older adults.
Right.
How do these programs address that when, the physiotherapist isn't physically there to scotch you?
Well, it comes down to a few things.
Okay.
First, these programs are designed by qualified professionals who are aware of the challenges and build in safeguards.
So things like clear instructions, proper demonstrations, modification.
Oh, that is crucial.
And the participant needs to be aware of their limitations.
Yes, absolutely. It's a two-way street. Participants need to listen to their bodies, respect their limits, and speak up if something feels off.
That open communication is so important.
It really is, and of course there's data privacy.
Oh, right. That's important.
When you're sharing health information online, you want to make sure it's secure.
Yeah, absolutely. What should people look for to know their information is protected?
Always check the program's privacy policy.
Okay.
Look for things like secure platforms, clear explanations of how your data is used.
Okay.
And if anything seems unclear, just ask questions.
So be an informed consumer.
Exactly.
Make sure you feel good about how your information is handled.
Right. And lastly, there's cost.
Ah, yes. The money question.
We touched on this before, but while some insurance plans might cover these programs, others don't.
And that can be a barrier.
It can, especially with the rising cost of healthcare.
Yeah, what advice would you give to someone who's interested but worried about the financial side?
Well, first, check with your insurance provider. See what they cover, but don't give up if insurance isn't an option.
Okay.
A lot of community centers or senior centers offer low-cost or even free exercise programs.
Okay.
And some of those might be available online.
So it's worth looking around.
It is, and there are also online exercise platforms with affordable subscriptions.
Right.
They might not have that same level of one-on-one support.
Okay.
But it can be a good starting point.
So even if insurance isn't in the picture, there are still ways to access these programs.
There are.
Without going broke.
Exactly. It's about exploring your options and finding what works for your budget.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so we've talked about the practicalities and the potential downsides.
Right.
But let's shift gears for a minute and talk about the future of these programs.
Okay, I'm picturing flying cars and robot trainers, but maybe that's just me.
Well, flying cars might be a stretch, but the future of online healthcare is definitely exciting.
Okay, what's on the horizon?
Well, one major trend is wearable technology. Oh yeah, those fitness trackers and smartwatches?
Yes. They're a game changer. They track everything, your steps, heart rate, sleep patterns, even blood sugar for those with diabetes.
So it's like having a health monitor on your wrist.
Exactly. Imagine your physiotherapist being able to see not just how you're doing during your sessions, but how your body is responding all week.
Oh, wow.
That allows for incredible personalization.
That's amazing. It's like having a virtual coach who's always with you.
Precisely.
Even when you're not working out.
Exactly. And for participants, it's super motivating.
How so?
Well, you can see your progress.
Okay.
Set goals, track achievements, even challenge your friends.
Oh, fun.
It's like gamifying exercise.
Yeah, I like that. It makes it more fun.
Exactly. And then beyond wearables.
Yeah.
We're seeing AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah. AI's everywhere these days.
It is, and it has the potential to really revolutionize things.
How so?
Imagine an AI system that analyzes your data, learns your preferences,
and creates a personalized workout plan that adapts to your needs.
Oh, wow. That's like a super smart trainer.
Exactly. And it can also give feedback on your form.
Really?
Offer tips, even suggest modifications if it sees potential risks.
So it's like a virtual safety net.
Exactly. And as AI keeps advancing, we can expect even more innovation.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It is, but tech aside, what other trends do you see?
Yeah, good question.
Well, I think we'll see a growing emphasis on holistic well-being.
What do you mean by that?
It's not just about physical fitness anymore. It's about addressing the whole person, mind, body, and spirit.
So it's about recognizing that health is multidimensional.
Exactly.
Exercise is just one piece.
Exactly. We're starting to see programs that include things like mindfulness, stress management, and even nutritional guidance.
Like a virtual wellness center.
Exactly. And this shift towards holistic well-being is especially important for older adults with chronic conditions like diabetes.
Right.
They face complex challenges that need a more comprehensive approach.
So it's about more than just managing symptoms.
Yes.
It's about optimizing your overall health.
Yes, and quality of life. And online supervised exercise programs are well positioned to do that.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be in healthcare.
It is.
But let's bring it back to the individual.
Okay.
What advice would you give to someone thinking about trying one of these programs?
First, talk to your doctor.
Okay, good advice.
They can help you decide if it's right for you.
Okay.
And recommend programs that align with your needs.
Personalized guidance.
Exactly. Once you have the green light, do your research.
Okay.
Explore different programs, see what resonates with you.
Yeah, because as we've been saying, they're not all created equal.
Exactly.
It's about finding the right fit.
It is. And think about your own preferences.
Yeah, good point.
Do you like working out alone or with others?
Right.
What time of day are you most energized?
Okay.
What activities do you enjoy?
Choosing a program that fits your lifestyle.
Absolutely. Set yourself up for success.
That's a good point.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Try a few different programs until you find the one.
That clicks.
Exactly. It's like trying on clothes.
Oh, I like that.
You need to try on a few styles.
That's a great analogy.
And remember, starting a new program is a big step.
Yeah.
So be kind to yourself.
Good advice.
Celebrate your wins. Don't get discouraged.
This has been so insightful. Thank you for sharing your expertise.
A pleasure.
We've covered a lot.
We have.
From the science to the practical stuff, the challenges.
Right.
The future.
It's been great.
I think we've both learned a lot.
I think so too.
Now, before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
We've talked about how impactful these online programs can be.
Yeah.
But what are some things people can do right now without a formal program?
Oh, good question.
To start incorporating more movement and well-being into their lives.
I like that.
Let's chat about that when we come back for our final segment.
Sounds good.
All right, so we've talked about all the amazing benefits of these online programs.
Yeah.
And how they can really make a difference.
Yeah.
But let's get real for a minute.
Okay.
What can our listeners do, like right now, today.
Yeah, right now.
Even without signing up for a program to start feeling some of those benefits.
Well, it's all about those small steps.
Small steps.
Yeah, remember, you don't need fancy equipment or a strict schedule to start moving your body and feeling better.
I love that. Small steps. So what are some things people can focus on?
Well, the simplest things is just walking.
Walking?
Yeah.
Really?
It sounds basic, but it's a great way to improve your fitness, boost your mood.
Okay.
And even help manage those blood sugar levels.
And you don't need a gym membership?
Nope.
Or a personal trainer?
Not at all. Just put on your shoes and head out the door.
Exactly. And you can start with short walks and gradually increase the distance.
Exactly.
As you get stronger.
Yes. Even 10 minutes a day can make a difference.
That's not bad.
Right. And you can make it more fun.
Oh, how so?
Explore your neighborhood, listen to music, or a podcast, invite a friend.
Yeah, make it social.
Right. Another simple strategy is to just move more in your daily routine.
What do you mean?
Take the stairs instead of the elevator.
Okay.
Park farther away from the store.
Okay.
Do some stretches while you're watching TV.
Oh, I like that. Sneak it in.
Exactly. And speaking of sneaking things in.
Yeah?
Why not make chores into mini workouts?
Oh, okay. How would you do that?
Put on some music and dance while you're doing the dishes or vacuuming.
Oh, I like that.
Right. It's a fun way to burn some calories.
Yeah, and make those boring chores a little more fun.
Exactly. Remember, exercise doesn't have to be this formal thing.
Right.
It can be anything that gets you moving.
Okay.
Gardening, playing with your grandkids.
Yeah.
Taking a bike ride. It all counts.
So it's about finding activities you actually enjoy.
Exactly.
Making them part of your life.
Absolutely. And don't forget about strength training.
Oh, yeah, the weights.
You don't need a gym for that either.
I know.
You can use your own body weight.
Like squats and push-ups.
Exactly. Squats, push-ups, lunges.
I'm feeling it already.
Right. Strength training is super important as we age.
Okay.
It helps build muscle mass, improves your balance, your metabolism.
Oh, wow.
It's important.
That's a lot of benefits.
And don't underestimate stretching.
Oh, yeah. Stretching's important.
It is. It can improve your flexibility, reduce muscle tension.
Okay.
And prevent injuries.
People forget about stretching.
They do. You can find some simple routines online.
Okay.
Or ask your doctor.
Good idea.
And remember, consistency is key.
Consistency.
You don't have to be perfect.
Okay, good.
Just aim for some movement most days of the week.
Small, consistent steps.
Exactly. And celebrate those wins, no matter how small.
Oh, yeah. That's a good reminder.
It's about being kind to yourself,
right.
Recognizing those efforts. And if you're struggling, don't hesitate to reach out for support.
Good advice.
Talk to your doctor, a friend, a family member.
Yeah.
Even join an online support group.
You don't have to do it alone.
Exactly. This has been a great conversation.
It has.
I'm glad we got to dive into this.
Me too. I hope our listeners feel empowered to take control of their health.
Me too, one step at a time.
This is great.
I know it is.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on The Deep Dive.
It is my pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you and to our listeners out there.
Yes.
Remember, stay curious, stay active, and keep moving forward.
Absolutely.